Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Fitness Friday Posi-TIPS with Rachelle. Continuing this important series on your self-image, the value of your self-image, and specifically asking yourselves the question, is my self-image a blessing or a curse, not only on my fitness journey, but in my life overall? And this time, I'm going to highlight the value of recognizing that there is a cost to change. So, in the last couple of episodes, highlighted the importance of asking yourself, what do you believe you deserve? Do you believe you deserve good things? Do you believe you deserve bad things? And essentially what you are getting or what you have been getting are a direct reflection of what you've been expecting. And so if you expect good things, if you believe you deserve good things, you will make sure that you get them, trust me. And so at this time, I want to highlight the cost of change when you recognize you deserve better and perhaps you're in a bad situation, whatever the case may be. There's going to be a cost to that. And also on Non-Fitness Fridays this year, they've had a couple different series highlighting this whole concept of change and the process of change and some of the fear of change and fear of the unknown and all of that. So I want to bring a little bit of that to this particular episode and just really helping you to emphasize the importance of don't go into it blindly thinking that when you decide you want to make a change, you want to find a better situation, you want to find a better trainer, you want to find a better fitness instructor, you want to find a better facility overall. Don't think that it's going to be easy, all right? And that's why this whole fear of change, a lot of people struggle with the fear of change, the fear of the unknown. Well, I know this. I've been a member here for a long time. I've worked for this trainer for 7 years and haven't lost a pound, but I sure do enjoy working with that trainer, okay? But so you got to recognize that anytime we embark upon change in our lives, it's going to cost us something. And that could be anything from comfort, convenience, predictability, again, just that whole concept of losing control because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to turn out. And so it's so essential that you really work to overcome the fear of the unknown and the fear of change and recognizing, all right, sometimes it may work out. You decide to pursue something better. You decide to make a change. It may work out. It may not work out, but you never know. That's always something my dad taught us growing up. I would always hear him say that. Nothing fails but a try. Nothing fails but a try. All right, and that's why I'm just the prolific risk taker that I am today, because nothing fails. I still have that message going in my brain. Nothing fails but a try. You got to be willing. You may fail. It may work out, may not work out, but you got to try. You got to give it a chance because you never know what's on the other side. And so I encourage you today that it's not going to be easy. Anytime there's change, you may live 5 miles from your facility, but you're not happy. And it's now going to require you to drive 10 miles. So you're going to be doubling your commute to the fitness facility that you're potentially thinking about changing or switching to. All right, so that's going to be doubling your mileage, like I said. All right, so it's just not going to be, change is never just, oh, hunky-dory, oh, this is great. It's always going to be a sacrifice. It's always going to be even just a comfort level. You've been working for just a hypothetical example I just gave, working with a trainer for 7 years. You know that person's birthday, you know all about their hobbies and their families and likes and dislikes, but you haven't lost a pound. And unfortunately, a lot of that's going on in the industry today. And so you got to overcome that and recognizing the cost, it may cost you something. You may have to pay more for a gym membership. You may have to make some sacrifices. But if it's going to make you happier, I assure you, happiness on your fitness journey is more than likely going to result in results. It's going to lead to results, the results that you want, the results that you want or hope to maintain during your fitness journey. If you're miserable, if you're unhappy, if you're disgruntled, you are not going to succeed on your fitness journey. And if you so happen to be one of those outliers who does so, then you are going to, it's just going to be a tough thing. And that's why you got to listen to yourself. You got to listen to that inner voice. You got to listen to your intuition. If you're dreading getting up in the morning, going to work with a trainer or going to a group fitness class or going to a particular facility itself, there's a reason. There is a reason. And so if you're unhappy and you're in any type of fitness situation or any aspect of your life, quite frankly, you got to face truth. You got to face reality and say, what is it about this? Is this not working out? What am I afraid of? Why have I been working with this trainer for 7 years and haven't lost a pound? What basic insecurities am I struggling with that is keeping me in this situation that is truly unacceptable, quite frankly? So you got to overcome your fears. You got to confront your fears, face your fears, overcome them. But also, I always like to provide balance in these episodes. When you decide you deserve better, if you think everybody's going to cheer you on and be happy and rah, 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 yeah, you may get some of that. But I would argue you need to be your own cheerleader. You need to have that inner motivation, that inner security, and confidence to know that you're moving in the right direction. You're moving in a better direction that will ultimately prove beneficial for you. So that is truly most important. Because if you've been overweight, hypothetically, you've needed to lose 100 pounds for the last 20 years, then all of a sudden you decide to seriously pursue that goal. Perhaps your significant other, it happens. There's all of a sudden, that particular person is not enthusiastic and your cheerleader. Why? Because they're afraid, they're fearful, they're threatened, they're insecure. Okay, now all of a sudden, what if this 100 pounds is lost? Will this person want me anymore? Will they find somebody better? It's just, you're gonna have to deal with a lot, particularly when you're making vast changes during your fitness journey, whether it be weight loss, whatever the case may be, being seriously committed where you have just been haphazardly yo-yo dieting in the past. You got to recognize everyone is not going to be a super rah cheerleader, but you got to be your own. You've got to be your own. You've got to know intuitively deep down, have the inner motivation, the intrinsic motivation to keep on keeping on despite any conflict, any negative reaction, any gossip, any criticism, any judgment that you may feel from other people. So you got to move forward. You got to keep on keeping on. Because I've shared with you throughout this particular series, but just in general, I always give a few little tips about, again, just my two greatest needs in my life are freedom and change. So this whole cost of change, I could write a book on change and what it's going to cost you. There's going to be sacrifices. There's going to be this and that. And so, but you got to be willing to press through it. Fortunately, I was raised to value and appreciate fitness. So I've got, my immediate family members are all super supportive, are just wonderful. I need to borrow your car in the morning. I need to be at the gym at 5:30, and whether I'm visiting my sister, my brother, my parents, just fantastic. They know fitness is just, that aspect of my life is just untouchable. But fortunately, unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that. They've got people, or, they just truly, and it sounds bad, but you will run into instances where people do not simply want to see you succeed. All right, and so they will sabotage you. They will bring home cakes and cupcakes and all of this and that. Because why? A lot of that behavior is driven by fear, the insecurity of, okay, I like things the way they are. I like the status quo. Don't rock the boat. Again, and if you've been struggling fitness-wise and your partner has struggled fitness-wise, then all of a sudden that may put some pressure on that person if you decide that you want to get fit, you want to get healthy, you want to make wellness and health a priority in your life. So now that other person may be feeling, well, then what do I got to do? Do I have to change? Do I have to make all of these changes too as well? I'm comfortable where I am. I don't want to do all of this. And so that can create conflict. So I don't want you to go into it blindly. All right, so when you just believe you deserve good things, there's going to be some changes. You're going to be walking away from some people. You're going to be walking away from some things. You'll be walking away from some behaviors. And so you've got to be willing to do that. You've got to have the confidence enough to do that. And I've shared throughout this particular series, but just overall, I throw some snippets in on just my own journey of change. And it's been, like I said, more than 24 years on this fitness journey. So I've been a member of a number of different facilities, been to a lot of gyms, at least a couple hundred on this 24-year journey. So I've had a lot of great breadth and depth of experience in the industry, in facilities, and it's been fantastic. It's been fantastic. And so I encourage you, one of the reasons why I'm so happy and I can keep on keeping on with passion and with gusto is because I truly know what makes me happy, and I always gravitate, towards those situations because you never know what change may bring. I spent my last, I won't go into my whole fitness journey, but last several years, spent 5 years at Powerhouse Gym, joined Planet Fitness June 28, 2017. And I've got now Planet's, Rachelle's PF Adventures. And for those who know me personally, they will tell you, those are so Rachelle. Those are so Rachelle. Because I'm adventurous by nature. People often say, I remind them of that old, cartoon series, Where's Waldo? Because you truly never know where I'm going to be. And it's just so fitting. But I've got adventures. I've got learning opportunities, continue to be professionally challenged. So just a lot of good experiences. Why? Because I was willing to make a change, folks. I was willing to make a change. And when I think about this change, it's something that I received. Now, I'll point something out really quickly. And this is, like I mentioned, it's this constantly being professionally challenged. I received my birthday was last month, and I received an e-card from Planet Fitness, and it was a happy birthday from corporate. Happy birthday, Rachelle, and long story short, it says, enjoy this free gift. And it was a free bottled water. And if you know me personally, if you don't know me personally, I am a fanatic when it comes to cards, and that includes e-cards. So that really made my day, and it really made me smile. And this is actually the first time ever I've gotten this type of card of any type of fitness facility or any type of acknowledgement like this. And so it really made me smile, and it really made my day. And this is where I talk about being constantly professionally challenged. And I thought to myself, okay, I didn't get one of these last September, so that clearly lets me know there's a shift now at corporate in terms of marketing, where they're really beginning to focus on, which I think is a great strategy, trying to engender and strengthen the loyalty among existing members, because new customer acquisition, regardless of industry, is expensive. And it's typically 5 times more expensive to get one new customer than to keep a current customer. And so I thought to myself, oh, we see some inklings here. We see some manifestations of focus now on member retention and loyalty. And certainly, I'm sure, has always been the case, but this was just a nice touch in that regard. And it's so funny, actually, when I was having this laminated, this is actually my downstairs office, and so I was having this laminated, and I was at the UPS store right here on Pontiac Trail in Wixom, so it borders Commerce Township, Novi, and Wixom. And so actually the owner who was laminating it for me, it was so funny, he was laminating it right next to the machine. He just turns around and he says, where's mine for my gym membership? And I said, well, hey, Planet Fitness is right down the street. The Novi location is right down the street. I actually started at that location. And he said, well, I was a member of the YMCA for a number of years, and I used to play basketball. I like big facilities. I said, dude, I understand exactly what you mean. I historically have been a member of very large, 80, 90, 100, 120,000 square feet. I know exactly what you mean. But I said, I'm actually at the Commerce location, and that location is really big, very spacious, great layout. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And he said, well, you know what? I like to play basketball. And I said, well, okay, well, yeah, there's no basketball court. So you may want to consider, Powerhouse, LA Fitness, Lifetime. Those would be your options, obviously, YMCA. And he said, well, I actually live 3 miles from the Planet Fitness in Brighton. And I said, you know what? Have you been inside that location? And he said, well, actually, no, I haven't. I said, that location has been remodeled. It's like double the size. And it is a fantastic gym. I said, you need to give it a chance. I know there's no basketball court, but give it a chance. In the interim, give it a chance. So see, you just never know, word of mouth, positive word of mouth is certainly something that is huge. And this is a secret weapon. When I think about, my membership at Planet, and yes, Hydra Massage, many different chains are starting to get Hydra Massage as one of their own amenities, but it's been an amenity for the Black Card membership at Planet for a long time. So it's funny when I think about when it was 3 weeks in, I was a member of Novi, and it was at the time. So I had the original white card, or the basic membership, for one location, then upgraded to Black Card membership 3 weeks later. And the initial reason is that I upgraded was not to be able to visit other facilities. It was the Hydra Massage bed, and that the Hydra Massage bed, folks, is just fantastic, regardless of what chain or what gym. If you can find one that has that, particularly in a situation like mine, has been absolutely fantastic. And what triggered me to think about this was I was actually at a Novi Chamber of Commerce partnership business builder with the Novi Library. So it was October 10th. It was a breakfast that morning, and they had vendors there, and there was this chiropractors, this Dynamic Health Chiropractic. Don't know who they are, never been there, but they were just giving away pins and goodies, and it made me smile, folks, when I saw this, because for those of you who don't know, some of you know, but anyway, I was in a car accident. Actually, that was when I was in Miami years ago, rear-ended, and just have had back problems off and on, but it seems to have really kind of worsened here in the last 3 to 4 years. Long story short, here in Detroit, I've seen chiropractors, actually Rodnick Chiropractic, that is literally seconds away driving from Planet Fitness and Commerce. Saw them early 2017. I was actually still at Powerhouse at the time. Was there for, I think, maybe 4 weeks of treatment, 3 or 4 weeks of treatment. Just, it wasn't working. So I have a sports medicine physician, Dr. Stephen Karaginas, at St. Mary's Hospital here in one of our suburbs in Livonia. He's a former team doctor for the Tigers and the Lions, does a fantastic job. So I would see him for adjustments. I had some spinal alignment issues, and so I would see him about every 6 to 8 weeks for those adjustments. And so, folks, from September 2017 to September 2018, I actually had an appointment on my birthday that morning. I only saw him that one time on my birthday. And I told him, I said, I'm just not having those symptoms like I used to. What's going on? Bam, started talking about the Hydra Massage bed. So, folks, it has been fantastic. I mean, I've done some of everything, the back Bible, stretching exercise. I mean, I've done all specific stretching exercises targeting my lower back. And it's just nothing nothing has helped like the Hydra Massage, where I'm just like symptom free, just fantastic. And so that's why I love it. And of course I have a natural affinity for the ones that are actually the beds and not the chairs. I realize now, I'm always gonna choose a location that has the beds and not the chairs, because I'm able to isolate it on my lower back. Also isolate it on my quads, roll over and isolate it specifically on my quads. And it has been fantastic, fantastic. And so when I think about the process, when I think about my own cost of change, yeah, I had to give up some things. I had to give up some comfort, some convenience. I had to give up my pre-core, my 17 out of 24 year elliptical favorites was pre-core, so had those in a number of gyms. But that's all right. That's all right. That's all right, because it truly has been amazing in terms of what I've gained just in many different areas. But I just had to kind of give you some insight to talk about why I love the Hydra Massage bed. So when I was in Evanston, Illinois, in May of this year, and they get 15 minutes on that thing, it just about freaked me out. It just about freaked me out. But see, now you understand why I love that Hydra Massage bed. So the cost of change, you're gonna give up some things, but I assure you, there's some good things that you, I'm sure, will be gaining just by making the change. So don't be afraid of change. And I'm going to wrap up this episode here. I'm going to read actually a couple of going here to Rachelle's PF Adventures. My most recent visit back home to Shreveport in Bossier City, Louisiana, was there for a couple of weeks at the end of August. So I was there from the 18th of August to the 5th of September, and actually spent 3 days in Oklahoma City and Yukon. Oklahoma highlighted those PF Adventures last time, but want to highlight this particular, actually a couple of different, the Bossier City location that newly opened, I believe it was the first week of June, but also going to highlight that the mainstay of the first location. I went to all 3 locations, but I only gave, wrote reviews for a couple of them. So wrote both of these on September 14th. Going to quickly go through these. Hello. I was in town recently visiting my parents for a couple of weeks. I had the opportunity to visit this club several times while in town. I know there was a year-long delay, but I know locals are so happy it's open now. I appreciated the hospitality from all of your staff. Chery was there most mornings when I came in and was always cordial and friendly. She engaged with members, and it was clear she had an affinity for getting to know members. Trey checked me in one morning before his shift ended at 6, and he was attentive, friendly, and cordial as well. I was also in the morning of September 2nd, and a young man with short brown hair was working the front desk. He was cleaning a selectorized weight machine when he saw me come in, and he immediately came over to the desk, grabbed the scanner, held it up, and thanked me for coming in, and apologized that he wasn't at the front desk when I came in. I told him it was no problem and that I appreciated all he and the team there did to keep the club so clean. His attentiveness, coupled with a strong work ethic, was readily apparent. I stopped in briefly Labor Day morning to use the Hydra Massage, and Leo at the front desk checked me in. I know your members appreciate his charisma and attentiveness. There was a wait, and he kept me updated on the wait time and encouraged me to stay, as it wouldn't be long. There were several staff members working that morning, and I can only describe it as a clean fest. Their teamwork and collaboration was great to see. I also noticed that same young man I saw the day before cleaning his heart out in the treadmill area. Finally, thanks again for the hospitality. I know your members appreciate this club's spacious layout and disciplined culture. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to future visits when I'm in town. So a great visit to this location, fairly newly open still. And actually, Labor Day morning when I went in to use the Hydra Massage, I had a guest pass to the YMCA. The YMCA, the newer YMCA, opened in March of 2017. I actually highlighted that location last April, on a Fitness Friday. But I had a great visit there, but I went there, why? So I could use the pre-core ellipticals, had a guest pass, but you noticed I stopped by Planet Fitness on the way home to use that Hydro Massage bed. So very, 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 very good visit to that location. The second location, which is the East Burke-Coons location, which is the first one that opened, also wrote this review on the 14th. Hello, I was in town recently for a couple of weeks and had the opportunity to visit this club several times while in town visiting my parents. I appreciated the hospitality from all the staff. Specifically, Quinn greeted me when I came in while I was on the floor a couple of days. Also, the young man who works overnights, who also works at Willis Knighton Hospital, Piermont, was cleaning his heart out one morning when I came in. I was in town last year for the holidays, and one morning before he wheeled off my dad on the hospital's 5th floor, he mentioned he also worked overnights at Planet, and I remembered him. Courtney, the manager, was also there one morning and was friendly and cordial as always. It is so cool to come back home and see the positive impact Planet has on the market. I see there are 2 new locations coming. Finally, I graduated from LSUS and went on to earn a couple graduate degrees in Florida and Illinois. I started my career in the Betty Crocker division of General Mills in Minneapolis, a top marketing company. I would be remiss not to commend you on your outstanding marketing efforts. The integrated strategy I've seen with outdoor, TV, Silverfit partnership, and email marketing, and I have in brackets, my mom is on your prospect list and forwards me the emails, is awesome. I look forward to working out here again the next time I'm in town, and I'm excited to see Planet paint the SBC, or Shreveport-Bossier City, area purple and gold from a fitness perspective. Rock on, and thanks again. And so, folks, I had a great visit to this location as well. And so what I'm going to do, I do not have time on this episode, but it's going to be Christmas in November. So 4 to 5 weeks from today, I'm actually going to do an abbreviated case study on the marketing that I see in the Shreveport-Bossier City area. So just highlighting that the strong efforts that I see there. Don't have time to do it in this episode, but going to highlight, like I mentioned, what I've seen, just the integrated strategy that has been very successful, as I've mentioned in previous episodes. So the first location opened in 2014. Now we've got 2 locations coming, but if you remember when I highlighted several weeks ago, when I read that the Planet Fitness, that new location in Bossier City opening up, had the prime location, was a breaking story at the Shreveport Times on May 8th. I pointed out when I saw that Ryan Lowe, who was formerly the manager of this location, the East Barcombe locations, when I saw that they had a quote from him as the district manager, I knew, and I quoted on that episode, I said to you folks, growth is coming. So any competitors should have seen that and said, okay, so they've got a district manager now. So we're about to see some growth in this area. So I'm going to break out the marketing. I'm going to talk about what I see. I'm going to talk about just, how you can integrate some of your efforts as well. But that's going to be a marketing episode, and I don't have time to do it now, but I look forward to doing it about 4 to 5 weeks from tonight. So stay tuned for that. And so, folks, again, don't be afraid of change. You'll see good things. You'll see good things. Good things will happen to you. You'll see the results that you want. Most importantly, you'll be happier. And you've got to ask yourself that question. Do I believe I deserve to be happy? Not only on my fitness journey, but in life. And if the answer to that is no, then hey, I can't help you. Don't watch me again. Just you're wasting your time. But if you do want positive change in your life, keep on keeping on. Keep on pressing on. Have the faith, courage, and the confidence to make it happen. And I assure you, I'm a living testimony. Good things are in store for you. So until next time, folks, I thank you so much for your time, and make it a wonderfully fit day.